Welcome to Conversations. He's Shauna Leakian.
And she's Robin Farr. We've got another excellent show today.
We do, but I got to tell you, we started a little something last week. Remember my friend that I went to the wine place with, and she said, ask Sean about this. Well, then I started getting a whole bunch of letters from people wanting some advice from
and we
both
love
of
to
us.
give advice.
We're
good at it.
We do. So can I start off with this one?
Yeah, please. This is
All
one of
right.
the letters that came in from a viewer.
Yes, and actually our guest today, the cafe counselor, I'm going to share this with her. So I hope you are watching, viewer, writer, because you're going to get not just our information, but the cafe counselors as well. Here we go. She says, I am in a situation where my boyfriend of 8 years has cheated on me in the past, and now he's proposed. And I said yes, but I'm now in therapy trying to figure out if I'm making the right decision. What say you? I know.
What say me?
Yeah.
You're in therapy right now before you get married? I think it's all downhill from there.
Really?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people will say that a lot of relationships could benefit from coaching and therapy and advice and opinions from the outside world.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. However, if the trust is already broken and already lost before you even enter into that union, what they've been dating, she says, for 8 years.
Yeah.
If that trust is already gone and you're already seeking professional advice before you get married, where's it going to go from there?
Unless you look at it as in, kind of that coaching, counseling thing before we get married. But now I have to say, I have changed my opinion on this kind of thing. I hear where you're coming from, that once the trust is broken. But I also think that there's probably some room for forgiveness in here. If he's a terrific guy in every other way, here's what I'd want him to do. I would want him to totally recognize the situation. She needs to go to him and say, I have said yes to you, but now I've got to admit I'm a little freaking out because I'm afraid for what happened before, if it'll happen again. She needs to be able to go to him. He cannot brush it off and say, one more time. How many times are you going to bring it up? She's brought it up. He needs to address it and sit down with her and say, I know how much this bothered you, and I would like to ask for your forgiveness. I won't do it again, and maybe give some good reasons why she should be able to trust him. And then if they can get to that point, she needs to let it go. When people start keeping that scorecard going,
Well, yeah, you can't.
It ruins.
It builds resentment and issues, and look, the cracks in the foundation are there, it sounds like, in this relationship. But one of my favorite sayings when it comes to relationships is, when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yes.
So this guy already showed his true colors.
so true.
Trust him. He showed you firsthand who he is.
Yeah.
Don't cast it aside and say, yeah, but I love him, this and that. I'm sorry. And to another point that you brought up, you know what? Relationships could benefit from coaching, and people can change. Relationships do change, but you know what can't be coached, in my opinion, is ethics, is morality.
True,
You
character.
can't coach that. You can't change character. I'm sorry, you can't. People can change, but I'm sorry, that is not something that can really change. And if he's gotten away with it once, twice, 3 times over the course of 8 years, I'm sure he's cheated on her more than once.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like she's got some serious doubts there.
Yeah.
It's not to say it'll guarantee it'll happen again, but there's so many underlying issues there that wouldn't be there if she started off anew with somebody else.
Right, it's true. And the other thing she has to ask is herself, what kind of a person is she? For me, if somebody cheats on me, it's over because I don't like who I become. I'm snooping in your wallet now. I'm reading your emails because I'm constantly afraid that this is going to happen again. And so I become a very untrusting person, and I don't like that in me. So for me, I'd have to say it's over because I wouldn't like what would happen to me.
Well, yeah, and the bottom line is, look, life has enough stressors and headaches and nonsense and work and financial issues and this and that. That's where you're supposed to have security. That's supposed to be your security blanket. The relationship, you're supposed to be able to come home to that person. They're supposed to be able to put their arm around you and go, you know what, it doesn't matter what goes on, what happens wrong in our lives, I'm there for you. And it sounds like this guy's only been there 50% of the time, maybe.
Right.
So you know what,
Too bad.
it's unfortunate. Sorry that it happened. Sounds like she's got some issues she needs to work through, and some self-confidence and self-worth issues, but I say move on.
Yeah. And that was for free. All right, well, we're going to, we gave you our opinions. We're going to have the opinion of the cafe counselor coming up next. His name is Michael Patrick, and he's our guest on Conversations when Sean and I return.